What's up, nerds? I'm Satoru, I'm proud to be a nerd, and you should be too. It's back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney tonight. We get to continue in with Case 3 of the game. We'll have our first day in the courtroom for this one. I only was able to do the initial investigation last time, if you were not caught up here. After Clavier's concert, murder is afoot, because of course it is. So Lamirar's interpreter and bodyguard has been found dead in 2 different locations over the course of the night. And apparently it's Lamirar's pianist that is being pinned as the culprit right now. And that's who Apollo is defending. So let's see how he's going to get out of this mess. This should be a fun one. And yes, I do think I remember who done it in this one. I think I remember. But, you know, I hope you can all figure it out. Try and figure it out for yourselves along the way here. We probably got, 2 days of trial to deal with as well. So let's start. Let's begin here. Yes, and I hope my pipes are all ready to go here. No preamble, we just go right into the courtroom. Dum-dum.
Court is now in session for... How do I say that?
Machi Tobaya, Your Honor. The pixie of the arpeggio.
Right, his trial. Court is in session.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-OK, Air Judge.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin.
My opening statement, yeah?
No, actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about.
Yes?
Say you're going...
Oh, why isn't his mouth moving for this one? That threw me off for a minute.
Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them?
Huh?
I mean, you wouldn't say, get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down.
What are you talking about?
Actually, I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son.
The Chief Justice?
His son is afflicted with a most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be the order of the day.
Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending? She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for?
In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly.
It won't get wrapped up quickly.
Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, briefly.
You're in luck, Air Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. First, to review the victim in this case. Romain Latouche, age 35. He's only 35? The global manager for diva songstress Lamirar. The cause of death, blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details.
The court accepts this into evidence. 45 caliber, that's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet.
However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved.
I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse, considering.
Two shots were fired. One shot missed, the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullets hit.
I see. The court accepts this evidence. If we're talking about a 45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use.
Really? Yeah, apparently weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body.
The defense will take more care in choosing examples.
As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. This dressing room has only one entrance, this door.
That does seem to be the case, yes.
However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course.
But that's impossible!
Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person.
One person?
That is, of course, the defendant, Machi Tobaye.
Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how?
It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear.
Very well. I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please show the witness to the stand.
Man, I am screwing that. Don't want to be screwing that up. Oh, hi, Emma. Your name and profession, please. Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night. Emma seems tired somehow.
Security at the concert, you say?
Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder.
Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know.
I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you were on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered, and we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please. All right. I just realized I think I might have to look up something for a trophy later on. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room, filled with blaring rock music, and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. One second here. Just want to look this up, see what I have to, I'm thinking there's a trophy involved in this case. Yeah, there is, so I'm just going to be on the lookout for that.
It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene.
But that door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. Then I don't get it. How can they say that Machi did it? Looks like we need a bit more information.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
We're eventually going to learn about the vent in the room, right? Press, press, press. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What was the detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin. Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Well, isn't it obvious? My keys, that whole morning, no, the whole day was ruined. And it's all because someone stole my keys. I couldn't ride my hog to the show. I couldn't open my guitar case. Here he goes again. Isn't it possible he simply misplaced them? Misplaced them? Misplaced items don't just wander into a murder victim's hand on their own.
What's this? Prosecutor Gavin, if your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect.
Love, slow acting, and new. And troquinine is waiting for you. I have no idea how to spell that word. He's singing something. Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top? Yes. Yes. The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen, so So I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task.
I see. I can accept that.
Well, I can't. What do you mean, time on their hands?
Please, the testimony.
We were let in, though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I gave the Fräulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. No other outsiders were there then. And then... I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos.
No snacking in court!
And you're sure the shots came from Lamirar's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep you quiet. Thanks.
So, how about it, Emma? We were right there. Hard to be mistaken about that. Please either talk or eat, not both at the same time.
Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer were me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Rock? Blaring, yes.
When you say rock, are you referring perhaps to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days?
That's right, when we went into the dressing room. Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They piped sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the Gaviners with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked in the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime.
If you could hear that music playing,
then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi, including myself. Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation. This is probably what we're supposed to press. How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen, we know there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack, and I was standing in front of that door. So how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility, the air vent. But that air vent was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, no or me. The only one who could fit through was a child. Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed. And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child.
The defendant?
The pixie of the arpeggio flitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture. Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there. You should know, Air Forehead. And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that it had been recently opened. Wait, what? And something else was found quite clearly. The defendant Machi Tobaye's fingerprints. What?
Order! Order! Order!
That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, Air Forehead, what fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. Stairway to heaven. And that one is our pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience. But this was his decisive evidence.
Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict. Even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit, I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough.
It can't be over already.
Very well, I believe this trial is finished. If the defense has no contradicting evidence,
Prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain. Apollo, they've got us on the ropes already. You better come up with something quick. I know. Think, what can get us out of this? Do we have anything? Do we have anything on this? See, now I'm trying to remember what we did last time. Let me look at the autopsy report. Time elapsed between shooting and death currently under review. No, the lyrics sheet isn't going to help. We had a set list, maybe? We need evidence or a witness that can prove Machi is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that...
Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you'd better tell us about it now.
This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof. I don't think I have anything, do I? Look over everything one more time, but... I seriously doubt it. I really don't think we have anything, but what will calling a witness actually do? I mean, who do we have here to, call? I don't know, maybe Lamirar, maybe we could call up the defendant? I don't know. Here, we're going to, considering how testy it got last time with my health, let's save. I don't have contradicting proof, actually.
Too bad. Very well, this court finds the defendant...
Well, hold it! Wait!
What for?
We have, what was it called? Contradictual proof? Anyway, whatever it is, we've got it!
Is this true?
Of course it's true! Show him, Apollo! What the heck are you talking about? Look, we give up now. Machi's really done for. He's right. If we give up here, we're finished. I need proof or a witness. I must have something.
All right, we'll give you another chance then. Do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case?
Yes, the same dialogue. I mean, I really doubt I have anything to show. I seriously doubt I have anything. Oh, we can actually go to this already? Well, I don't know if I really need to fool around with that yet. I don't know. Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there were no witnesses to this crime. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-seller hit song, Atroquinine My Love. Here he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness.
Oh, really now? But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not?
Because I am the only one in the world who knows this. Oh. What's going on? I just talked to him, and now... He's alive! Mr. Latouche, can you hear me?
Cold. So cold. Witness.
You're cold? Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Help is on the way.
Let's see.
Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness?
Witness is the siren. What? The victim said this before he died?
Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All we know is what Air Forehead says he said. No testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself.
Objection!
But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently, you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly, this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job.
That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution, I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty.
Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for? Oh yeah, that's pretty stiff. There's no backing out now.
Let's hear the name of your witness, Mr. Justice.
It's gotta be Lamirar.
Lamirar?
Recall Mr. Latouche's last words. I'm not reading that again. Yes, he said siren.
The siren! Aha! He meant the siren!
That's right, the siren of the ballad, Lamirar. Lamirar was only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness.
I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
My claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime.
Very well. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth then, shall we?
That's rude. How dare you call her that?
We will now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lamirar to the witness stand.
Lamirar would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today, we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. What's up, BB? It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to our courtroom. You are too kind.
Oh, you can speak English!
Yes, I can. Though I am not very good. There is much I do not know.
You speak so well! Have you spent time here before?
Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it. What does she mean she doesn't know? I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. He's sus. What's that? Lamirar suffers from amnesia.
Amnesia?
Lamirar is not my true name, yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lauded singer Lamirar, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress.
I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lamirar.
Thank you. Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened.
Lamirar, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Sorry about that.
Oh my. Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy.
Ah. Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw the night of the crime.
As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying.
I hope he was too distracted to hear what she was actually saying.
There you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray that the defense has the sense to admit defeat and refrain from detaining her here longer than need be.
You just got badder, Apollo. Way to go.
Grr. Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet.
Lamirar wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I've got to find out what. I didn't remember hearing anything that I could immediately, Well, then again, is it her brooch? Is that the issue? That's probably the issue, right? Here, we'll press everything along the way. But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you. Mr. Latouche? How can I tell you what I don't know? Lamirar, he said you were a witness with his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night... It was a great concert. You heard me sing. Thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course.
Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One of my gavel would be nice.
There, Judge.
What's this?
It's my autograph. Now keep this trial moving.
What? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy.
Apparently, his grandson is a big fan.
Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lamirar.
Lamau XD, indeed.
Tell us what you did after your stellar performance.
See, now we're getting a little sussy. You did not return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. Was Machi with you at the time? Unfortunately, I do not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Machi. With Machi, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does, though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latouche's death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion.
Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gotten very far.
We sat there, waiting. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Latouche died.
Of course, investigations require some security.
But Mr. Latouche was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern.
Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you.
Yes, I understand. Think, what doesn't ring true about her testimony? It's hard to imagine Lamirar lying. She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder? What do we, It's gotta be this, right? Yeah. It's gotta be here. Gotta be. Objection! This is it. I knew it. I should have been more confident. I'm sorry, Lamirar, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not?
Why, that's Lamirar's. She was wearing it for her song.
Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin? What? This brooch was found after the murder took place, at the very scene of the crime. What? Lamirar, how did your brooch get backstage if you did not go there yourself? And as Prosecutor Gavin has just told us, you had been wearing it during your performance that night. Chibi 3.0 is so cute. Oh boy. Oh man, I cannot wait. Saturday cannot come quick enough. Let's hope all the models are ready for then too.
What is the meaning of this? Lamirar, please explain.
Lamirar? Oh god.
She says English is quite difficult.
That trick's not going to work here.
Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact.
What now?
In fact, at the time of the incident, I went backstage, but only for a moment.
At least one will be, which is the chibi. The gremlin model Sunny is not able to work on right now. Okay. What? Actually, now I see it. One of those symbols actually looks like, looks like someone throwing a Hadoken. Which isn't too far off. That might be on purpose. You know, this is a Capcom game. And then we have right next to it is someone doing the OTL emote.
Think back to the moment of the crime. You know whereof I speak.
Is she really saying all that? What's she talking about, Apollo? Right when the incident occurred. Is she talking about that? Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup. Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Oh my god, we're going through this again? I don't want to read this again. It keeps happening. Siren? How can a siren witness anything? Yipes! Emma! What was that? Who's there? What's wrong? Emma, did you see anyone just now? Huh? No. Could have sworn I heard a door close. I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you.
So this was when your brooch dropped. That explains that.
It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it. That's ridiculous! You only looked in for an instant, but you dropped your brooch?
Their forehead. She has raised a possibility. The only thing that can counter that is evidence.
So she looked in at the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. But the moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice.
Their forehead shouting who's there, no doubt. A horrible voice indeed.
Ah. I closed the door immediately.
Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony.
It's too convenient. She's hiding something. You know, no, I don't want to look at the gun. I meant to look at the brooch. Look at this brooch. What did this say on the pin? Sort of pin fastener for attaching things to clothes. Not a safety pin type, though. So if it's not a safety pin, is it a danger pin? I suppose if you stuck it in your eye, then yeah, sure. But you could do that with a safety pin, too, for that matter. Thanks for taking the fun out of my danger pin. Ah, you're driving a danger pin through my heart here. Okay, no help there, just the pun. Just the same pun. Lammy Rar, you did look into the room though, right? Yes. Testify as to what you saw. Very well, though it was only the briefest of glimpses. When my performance was finished, I went backstage for just a moment. I saw nothing. The late Mr. Lutus's body was behind a wall. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. Huh. What was the line that was added? No, Mr. Lutus's body was behind a wall. Behind a wall? What? A wall? Is there a wall there? Is what in English?
The division, or partition, I believe. There's a large dressing room divided into two halves.
And the murder took place in the inside half. Guess that partition might have hidden the body. Okay. I don't know if there's a, something about her looking this way, what we've got to worry about. I mean, obviously, I can see the ring is highlighted. Am I ever penalized for this? Not her eyes. Try her mouth, maybe? Wait, what? How the hell did she say something without moving her mouth? Wait a minute. Who's speaking for her right there? What's going on there? Gotcha! That's a big gotcha. Oh, it's in her throat. Oh, was she ventriloquisting? The late Mr. Lutus's body, you say? Yes. You know something more about Mr. Lutus's death than you're saying. What? I could see you trying not to remember, but the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes. We're not just going to talk about how her mouth was just not moving at all? It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Lutus have to be shot? One moment, Lammy Rar. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Lutus have to be shot? Yes? He was hiding something. I knew it. Lammy Rar, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but your words just now contradict your testimony. How could that be? Take this. Lammy Rar contradicted her own testimony, and I have the evidence to prove it. Is it this notice? Oh no, here we go. It's the partitions in the way of the gun. If I do not misunderstand the meaning of contradiction, it is you who contradict, Mr. Justice. Huh? Your evidence is meaningless. Ah, I screwed up. Yeah, I boo-booed that one. Why did Mr. Lutus have to be shot? That's right, that totally contradicts her testimony. I should have went with my gut. Tell me, Lammy Rar, how did you know he had been shot? Well, Immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court, "No one told me anything about the incident."
Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Latouche had been shot. How could you have known? Why did I make a noise like that? Why did I go Yow? Something Scooby-Doo.
What? Let me roar! You aren't hiding something from this court, I hope.
That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet. Now I remember. Please allow me to add to my testimony. Of course. All we want to know is the truth. You look kind of pale, huh? She saw something, I know it. Even the victim said so. I saw bullet holes in the wall and knew Mr. Latouche had been shot. Okay, that's an easy one. Now we do this. Now it's easy. Lamirar, they call you the siren of the ballad. But lies are hardly becoming of such a creature.
A put-down worthy of our prosecutor, Mr. Justice.
Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo. Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your character, yeah? Come on, can't I be cool for once? Observe the diagram. Lamirar, you looked in from the door for just a moment, correct? Yes, that is so. There were bullet holes in the room, yes. But they were in the wall the door is on. You see, assuming you merely glanced into the room, you couldn't have seen those bullet holes. So silly sounding.
Lamirar.
Yes.
I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something.
And I must tell you what it is that I saw?
Yes. Happenings in this trial are being recorded. And I'm certain it will be on the news in Borginia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing.
But she knew how Mr. Latouche died, and he named her as a witness. You must have seen something, Lamirar.
Very well. Lamirar, please continue your testimony.
Very well. I shall. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was.
So you did witness the crime? And the killer was a grown person, you say?
This is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, Air Forehead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lamirar. What's wrong? You don't look too happy. This whole thing smells fishy. That's what's wrong. Actually, what do we know about that window right now? We don't know much of anything, do we? Oh, did I actually miss this trophy? I think I did. Unless I got it already. Let's see, it should show the ones I have. It's this one. I don't have it? How the hell did I miss it? How the hell did I miss that? Well, I'm gonna have to come back and get that one then. That's unfortunate. So you were heading toward the dressing room? Yes. So this is a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. At the same time Emma and I heard those shots. I was on my way back. What exactly is something like a little window? Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes.
You need not worry, Lamirar. Your choice of words was impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail.
That little window on the wall. I saw the crime from there. You are certain you heard 2 shots fired? Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer.
And there were 2 bullet holes at the scene. No contradictions so far.
It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do. It wasn't Machi who shot. Are you sure? Yes, quite certain.
It amuses me that you would question her testimony. It is testimony in your favor. Isn't it my job to object?
Apollo, what were you thinking? Trucy, let's just listen to what Lamirar has to say. Can you tell me how you were so sure? Yes, of course. You see...
A grown person. That's a little vague.
I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know.
Certainly you could at least see whether the shooter was male or female.
That's a loaded question nowadays, Judge.
It was a man. A young man.
And you're sure of that?
Yes, his voice was quite clear.
Voice?
Looking at this diagram, it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have had a clear view of the shooter.
As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man.
So you heard a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Latouche?
Absolutely not. Did I not just say that I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Latouche who spoke, I would have known.
Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man.
Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi.
Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case in a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony?
How would this contradict stuff?
Well, he was shot in the back. That's the problem. Though it pains me to say this, there's something about Lamirar's testimony that rings false.
Bravo, Air Forehead. You're colder than I thought.
I'm sure you remember what the problem is as well as I do, Gavin. As has been established, no grown man could pass through that air vent. He couldn't have fled the scene of the crime. But that means Lamirar has to be lying. I know, and I know it's bad for our case, but I can't shut my eyes to this. Believe me, the idea was tempting.
It is as Air Forehead says. Yet this is not the only contradiction within her testimony.
What next? What's he talking about?
Sup, General Dow. Lamirar, I understand why you would want to protect Machi. And remember, you are the siren of the ballad. And lies do not become such a creature.
What does the prosecution mean?
Apollo, what's he talking about? How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that?
I recall the state of the crime scene quite well.
The state of the room? Your voice is a General? Thank you, General Dow.
Yes, and when the murder took place, that window was closed. I find it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it.
What? But I'm sure.
Lamirar, I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser.
But she's the only eyewitness we have.
So you say. The victim named her, the Siren, as the witness.
That's right. That's what Mr. Latouche...
We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility, and it brought us to this. Dear Judge.
Yes?
The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please.
I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility.
But if Lamirar can't testify, then we don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence.
This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case.
Danke. Now where were we? Ah yes, I would like to hear from Fräulein Detective again.
Wait, let me hear Lamirar's testimony one last time.
But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises, this witness may leave the stand.
I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance.
At last, back to the real trial. Ready, Air Forehead?
I hope I didn't just miss my only chance.
Fräulein Detective, how far had we gotten until we were so rudely interrupted?
Don't ask me.
I dislike saying the same thing twice, and I never repeat a song for an encore.
If you would, Miss Sky.
I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latouche's killer could have escaped was through that air vent on the ceiling.
Ah, yes, there was only one door in the room. The witness, you, was standing in front of it.
That air vent isn't very big, see? Kind of limits the people who could possibly get through.
I certainly would have a difficult time.
You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the conditions for our killer is the defendant.
A virtuoso performance. I couldn't have put it better myself.
She does state a clear case. Though reading the report, something caught my eye.
Oh, what's that?
The circumstances of the defendant's arrest.
The circumstances? Again? Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre. She's right. Why did Mr. Latouche's body disappear from the room and end up on top of that stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less.
A perceptive observation there, Judge.
Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough, you get a nose for things.
The judge sure seems pleased with himself.
Very good, Fräulein Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? And how does that lead us to the killer?
I believe Machi stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lamirar's song. No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim. And Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lamirar's song?
Yes, the guitar's serenade. You noticed its code too, did you not?
Its code?
All the events that day follow the lyrics to our song. First, the keys my heart held onto so tightly were stolen. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flames on stage. Mr. Latouche's life was taken by a bullet. This hardly needs explanation. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky.
That's mad! It's like a story out of some fairy tale.
I admit, I'd forgotten about the song. But there it is now waiting for me, the grand finale, as it were. Hey, you know I was the one who first noticed that.
I've heard of jumping rope to songs and counting to songs, but killing?
It's a wild world out there, Air Judge.
Very well. We've heard one song and dance. Let's get on to the next. The cross-examination.
I'm not so sure I'm going to be doing much singing. Okay.
Objection!
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That was dumb. Oopsie doodles. That was a finger slip. Fat fingered triangle. Well, I guess you have to present your badge at some point. Oh no, I can't, okay, I can't look at profiles here, because that was the one thing I wanted to check. I don't think Machi knows English. Yeah, I don't see anything directly with the lyrics. Maybe there's something. There might be something. Okay, we're pressing. We're pressing. Who would steal a body just to match some lyrics? I didn't believe it myself, but it can't be just a coincidence. It is as Fräulein Detective says. Let us begin with the first verse, if you would, Fräulein Detective. What? You want me to sing it? You are the witness, yeah? Or did you want me to sing? I warn you, my fee as a vocalist is not trivial. Fine, fine. Let's look at the first part of the lyric, shall we? When you stole away the keys my heart held onto so tight. Indeed, my favorite heart-shaped key ring was stolen that morning. Next we go to the right page of the lyric sheet, where we find burning on in my heart, fire, burn my love away, all away. As we know, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away, all away. Mr. Latusse's life was taken by a bullet. Whoa, Fräulein Detective, your singing is not bad. Notice I chose not to sing. Now for the finale. Guitar, guitar, up together to the sky. As it says in the lyrics, Mr. Latusse was found with a guitar high in the sky over the stage. No series of coincidences could be so well conceived. He's right, scientifically speaking. What would Waki have said? That concert was whack. It's hard to agree when she pours her heart into it like that. Anyway, the shooter. Does the prosecution have any idea why he'd do all this? You want my scientific opinion? No clue. But he clearly had a reason to go through all that trouble. Some deep reason. A deep reason? Not only did he steal my keys, he torched my guitar. Unforgivable acts, even if he had a reason. And worse if he had none. The Diva's complaints aside, I can't imagine someone doing this on just a whim. Fräulein Detective, I take offense at that description.
Indeed, it does seem too well rehearsed, shall we say.
Yes, this crime was planned for sure. But Mr. Latusse spoke English. He may have come to this country before. I looked into that, I assure you. Oh. It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own. Great. You see, no one here had a motive to kill him, and certainly not in such an elaborate fashion.
It does seem difficult to imagine.
Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt. What did you say?
Prosecutor Gavin, you did this to promote your song?
Man, rumors get crazy, don't they? Of course not, and I am quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music. They're even in my textbook at school. And I'd never heard of them. What does that say about me? I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy. What do you mean by his signature? The bullet holes in the wall, of course. The bullet holes? The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall.
And that means what exactly?
That dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range.
Difficult to miss, you say?
Very. Assuming the shooter could properly aim. No, you can't be serious. Machi, he can't see. That's why he missed. The only explanation that makes sense. He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. Poorly. That reminds me, the monitor in that room was blaring at the time, yeah? Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound.
Blind shooter. No wonder he missed.
I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Think, Justice, what do I do now? And again, if it's like... I don't know. It feels like if it was a kid shooting it, they get, like, knocked over big time. And again, he was shot in the back. How does that work? Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see. Oh, how so? Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim.
That's certainly possible.
And it might have been the revolver's fault.
Revolver?
The revolver was a very large caliber, correct?
If the shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon, why, it could dislocate their shoulder.
Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobaye, is, as you can see, tiny. It's not so hard to picture him firing the gun and missing entirely. The kickback alone would throw off his aim.
A convincing argument, to be sure.
Take that, smug prosecution. Apollo. Huh? What? That bit about Machi being tiny and the gun throwing off his aim. Aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it? Oh. I think, this calls for that. It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was without a doubt the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point. Yuck! Cripes, I really put my foot in it this time. But let's get the facts of the matter on the record. You would, Fräulein Detective?
Very well, the witness shall add this to her testimony.
Right. From the state of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind. So there's gotta be something with this. There's gotta be something about this, then. You can't say he was blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that. I wouldn't call it proof, per se. Huh? You've merely raised a possibility. Fräulein Detective has made a most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Of course, there is more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent. But wait, if he was blind, how would he know about the air vent in the first place? Ah, very good point. Well, Fräulein Detective, if you would care to explain. He certainly seems sure of himself.
Recall the crime scene if you would. There was a stepladder below the air vent. As it happens, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I'll believe it. Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobaye. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that stepladder. But why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? You could have figured it out for yourself. You only needed to consider what that stepladder was doing there.
Looks like the defense's objection has been squished by a stepladder.
Well, Air Forehead, out of ammunition, perhaps? I've never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood. Apollo, don't you have something? Anything? You know what we need? We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place. Proving the shooter was sighted would do it. That would take down one of their central points. Do I have any evidence that could prove that, though? What can confirm they were able to see? Huh. Is there anything here? I don't know. What could... I don't know if there is anything here. I honestly don't know. If I say no need, I don't know. Can't think of anything that proves the shooter could see. Your face does not exactly project confidence. Maybe you should just accept it and move on. Apollo, grow a backbone!
Very well, the witness may continue her testimony.
Couldn't even get a word in edgewise. This doesn't look so good, does it, Apollo? No, it doesn't. What do we do? First, we don't panic. Even though Machi's case is leaking water by the gallon, Gavin's on a roll. It's up to me to stop him. Okay, yeah, that was the last thing. So, there's something here, then. There is something going on here. There is something here. It's been a while since I've saved. And honestly, it is break time, so I'm going to think about this during my break here. So just give me a minute or so. I will be right back.
Okay, I'm all back. Let's continue here.
Hold it!
So we press this.
Objection!
Fast forward through all this again. Something proving Machi, or the killer, could see. Some way for that. How could we do that? How would that work? Fine, I accept the prosecution's challenge. As I knew you would, Air Forehead. What exactly am I up against here? Prosecution is saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see. Therefore, Machi, who's blind, did it.
The defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see.
Is it something in the diagram? Is that what I'm missing here? Nah, it can't be.
I'm not sure that overturns anything, Mr. Justice.
Ugh, wrong evidence, I'm guessing. Apparently both Love and Justice are blind. To think there must be something, anything.
Hold it! Objection!
What the hell can this be? What else? What else can show that? Yeah, can tell the shooter could see.
Take that!
This? Okay, hold on. I'm actually gonna reload here. Just get some of that, some of that health back.
Hold it!
Yeah, look at that. I have a ton of health here.
Objection!
Why would it be the, Oh, is it because the, Is it because the victim... Oh, it's because he crossed... You know, he tried to write something on the ground in blood, right? Yeah. That's it. That's gotta be it. That must be the reason. Okay, that was a guess. That one was a guess.
Take that!
This is that evidence.
The photograph of the crime scene?
I don't care much for the smirk on Prosecutor Gavin's face, but this is no time to think twice. Time to press on. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There is something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point. Then perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, yeah?
Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. The contradiction at the scene of the crime is
right here.
Take that!
The contradiction is right here. The smeared blood stains.
I thought it was just my blurry vision. It really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head, much like a gesture I have seen many times in this court.
Almost as if he wrote something. Uh-huh, I get it. At least I think I get it.
Get what, Fräulein?
When Mr. Latouche was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write in it but his own blood? Pretty good, huh? Thanks for making my point for me. Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here.
That does seem to be a distinct possibility.
The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion. Rat, I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that.
Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind.
Neither would I.
No one has anything else to say?
About what?
So the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victim making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out? What's your point?
What's my point?
Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? Well, Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood. Once the killer saw what it was... Wait.
Once he saw what it was.
What did you just testify about the shooter? I said they were blind. Ah! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that. The killer had to have been able to see. Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant Machi Tobaye is blind. He couldn't have been the shooter. Impossible!
Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin, please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it seems quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now...
It seems I owe the court an apology. The Gaviners are a band with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently, this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner.
I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here. Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us.
I've got an idea. Let's rock! With these documents. But before that, I have a question for the Fräulein detective, if I may.
What?
Tell me, why do you think that Machi Tobaye is blind?
Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind.
Of course.
He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamiroir lead him around by the hand all the time?
No way. I have a report here on the defendant, Machi Tobaye. According to this, Machi Tobaye can see perfectly well.
What?
His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well.
Objection!
But you said...
What did I say exactly? Therefore, not once in the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was Fräulein Detective.
But that's...
A significant fact, yes. Consider Machi Tobaye sees, and he was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this.
But what about the bullet holes in the wall?
Yes, the bullet holes. I believe Air 4 had neatly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was the kickback from the .45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, Air 4-head.
Well, we're over a barrel.
I knew you didn't have what it took.
You jerk. What was I in here for? Comic relief? Yeah, apologize.
Oh, sorry.
That's no way to apologize.
He's angered the Trucy now. Look out.
If we can please end the bickering now.
Whatever. I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me.
But your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant.
Ugh, don't say that. Aha! What? This blood stain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right?
That seems to be what happened, yes.
We might be able to find out what was really written here.
Really? You can do that?
That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it. It's a chemical that reacts to blood.
Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet?
As if I'm going to tell you.
The blood stains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, that section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now.
That's right, we haven't done this yet. Right, go for it, Apollo. I have to do the test? You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. A chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere.
Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it.
Right, ready? It's easy as pie. Apparently you're as red as the Virtual Boy. Just press X to spray an area. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me. Apollo, your hand's shaking. Let's do this. How much more? Wow, it really works. Is this someone's password? This must be the power of science. It says IPXX314206. Is that the killer's name?
Maybe it is if the killer was a robot.
Aha! I have it.
So what is it?
I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number.
Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency?
Yes, most are undercover agents working to solve international crimes. But why would he write that number?
Why would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that?
Good show, Fräulein Detective. Rock on.
Huh?
Your Honor, we can verify this number immediately. Darian, are you there? Come up to the witness stand.
Oh, hi, Shark Boy.
Darian, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number.
Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27. I'm not sure what to think of all this. The prosecution's case is airtight, or so it seems. Yet if this number is really that of an Interpol agent...
Oh, wait, I know. What if Machi Jobaye is really an undercover Interpol agent?
That would be a possibility.
Possibility, yes. And one that would mark him as the killer for certain.
Why did Latouche know an Interpol ID number? That's what I want to know.
Well, we have some time left while we await Darian's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi Tobaye.
What are you talking about?
Fräulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could in fact see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you.
You had me until the last bit.
Does this not raise a rather straightforward question?
Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see?
Exactly. It makes little sense. What do you think, Air Forehead?
Huh? Me?
Machi Tobaye pretended he was blind. Do you know why?
How could he? How could he know? Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he? He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on the whole time.
Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is all some kind of game? Know that the moment I heard that report, I knew why.
I suppose people who have sold over 1 million records really are something else.
What does that have to do with anything?
There was a reason why Machi Tobaye pretended to be blind, but it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now? It wasn't for himself?
Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness?
Ah. Why would that be? Could it be that? This does say sightseeing. I'm guessing that's what it is, right? Let's see if I say I haven't a clue. I have no idea. Ha ha ha! Air Forehead, I'm disappointed in you. Unless you're merely feigning stupidity, huh? Keep it up, wise guy. Recall the relationship of Lamirar and Machi Tobaye. In particular, their arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamirar and her pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. He would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind, or so we thought. She led him at all times. All times.
All times.
Yet we now know that Machi could see perfectly well. Why keep up the charade?
Well, wasn't it part of their performance?
There is a simpler explanation, Air Judge. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. Which means... You don't mean... I do. It was the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lamirar.
What's this? So you mean to say that Lamirar she's...
Blind as a bat, Air Judge.
What?
Now that sounds ridiculous. That sounds absolutely ridiculous.
This is crazy! Prosecutor Gavin!
Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something?
Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lamirar herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room.
Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me, I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now.
Bailiff, bring in Lamirar!
Lamirar, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must.
Please, do not be concerned on my behalf.
Those eyes, she really can't see? Really?
It is true. How funny is it that a tiny lie born in the Borginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world?
So you are?
Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I came Lamirar. Know too that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lamirar.
I see.
You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, Air Forehead. What's that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Ah. Now, Lamirar, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes?
Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. Oh, I admit I'm a little lost here.
I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor.
I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others.
But this is a murder trial!
I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would...
She told us the truth in the beginning. She said she saw nothing.
Very well. Does the defense have anything to add?
I'd like to cross-examine.
But what is there left to ask?
There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself.
Very well. The defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness.
Okay. It was only one part that bothered me. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. Can't be anything here. Here, I'd better safety save. Is it this part that we've got the problem?
Hold it!
When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew, and that's what's been bugging me.
Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You're thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. I'm not reading that again. This happened, this is like the 8th time, at least. I'm not reading that again. We need a soundboard. Oh, he just said can't see. I just paid attention to that. He just said can't see. Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind. I don't know. Tisk tisk. What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There is no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more.
The witness siren. We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense.
I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? That's right, he tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness.
I see!
Too bad the defense did not. Well, Air Forehead, try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time.
Order! Order!
Recall Lamiwar's earlier testimony.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it.
But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that.
That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness?
But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots and the man's voice.
Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We've already run a simulation, of course.
But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant.
Your Honor! What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here?
We have the results back from the investigation.
The investigation?
Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us.
Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescend, your report, please. asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing.
Quick work as always, Darian.
Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent? IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche.
What?
Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation.
So when he wrote those letters,
He was trying to tell us his own identity. And a cautious killer tried to wipe them away.
Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent. So him being Lamirar's manager was just a cover, most likely.
There's one other important detail I found.
Well, out with it.
It concerns that .45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently, it belonged to Romain Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms. And the registration number on the revolver matched.
So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver.
So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything. It's gotta tie in somehow, you'd think. Yeah, somehow.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out.
Who's holding it? Oh, Lamirar's holding it.
Wait!
Lamirar? Is something the matter?
That voice just now.
Darian?
Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it.
It was him?
You aren't saying...
That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian.
Is this some kind of a joke? What? No way!
That was a weird response from him. Courtroom fell into such a chaotic state the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I've never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamirar fingering Darian Crescend. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lamirar heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it.
Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo!
That's a weird place to break. So I take it we go on to I don't know. Are we going to? Yeah, we're gonna take a break for the day.
Hey, Apollo!
What?
Well, actually nothing. I mean, something. Or maybe not.
Hell with it. The suspense is giving me an ulcer.
Well, the trial today, I was thinking, if you gave it a score, what score would you give it?
Score? Gee. I guess I would, maybe, well... I'm just as bad as you.
See? It's so vague.
Clearly. Machi avoided a guilty verdict, which is something. Though I can't say I'm any less confused about the case.
I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche.
And the victim, Mr. Latouche. Who would have guessed he was actually an undercover Interpol agent? What a mess. And we don't have any idea what he was investigating.
Well, true, but we know who shot him now. Lamirar told the whole court. Wait, that voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it. That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. It's another mystery, Apollo. I love mysteries.
I don't. Speaking of mysteries, what's Mr. Wright up to? I wouldn't mind asking his opinion.
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen Daddy around.
What, is he some kind of stray that just wanders in and out at will?
I wouldn't say that, but he has been going out a lot. Some top-secret mission, he said.
Top secret?
Anyway, you can't just rely on him to save the day. And you got me to help you. We'll be fine.
Fine, right. Well, time's a-wasting, as they say. Let's investigate.
That's the spirit.
Okay, let's go talk to Charlie. Mr. Charlie, the potted plant. Huh? His leaves are looking a little brown.
Good morning, Mr. Charlie. Ah, Mr. Charlie, your leaves.
Maybe you weren't giving him enough water.
No, it must be stress. He's worried about the new recruit at the office.
Hey, don't blame it on me. You are watering him, right?
It was Daddy's turn to water him this week.
Mr. Wright has been away on his top-secret mission, no?
I'm sorry, Mr. Charlie. This is all my fault. I'll water you soon, I promise.
See that little save mark? That means we're working on that progress. I don't think don't really need to look at anything else. I think usually talking with, I don't know. None of these matter. Lammy Rar dropped a bomb in court today. It was Darian.
Lammy Rar said she's never forgotten a voice, right? It's so cool.
My guess.
What's that called again? Elephant ears? I bet that's what they're called.
Somehow I don't think that means what you think it means. And she has to be wrong this time.
Wrong? Why?
I mean, look. Those gunshots were right during the concert.
That's right. I was burning up the dance floor at the time.
Right. Did you happen to look up on stage? Maybe at Darian, even?
You bet I did. He's one of the Governor's guitarists, after all. He's so cool.
Right. All the Governors have a rock-solid alibi. He couldn't have shot Mr. Latouche backstage.
But Lammy Rar heard him, didn't she? She heard Darian backstage, right?
Somebody's either wrong or lying very badly here. Interpol agent.
I was wondering, what is Interpol anyway?
Interpol?
They're the guys who catch international criminals. Why can't they just call them International Police instead of making up some silly name?
Yeah. Anyway, you think he was investigating Lammy Rar?
What? Why would anyone do that? He's not a criminal. She couldn't be.
Don't be fooled by appearances is all I'm saying.
Remember, I'm a magician, Apollo. I can spot a palmed coin at 50 paces.
Only we're that easy. In any case, we know he was working on something.
I wonder if it was something that had to do with something. That something being our case. The last something, I mean.
Something like that. 10 out of 10 writing. Frankly, the whole thing is making my head hurt. What was Mr. Latouche up to? Who's laughing? Trucy, was that another one of your tricks?
It wasn't me. I can't even make Mr. Hat laugh like that.
Oh. Oh God. Oh God, what do I give you? What do I give your voice? Oh man, Grammary. What do I give you? What do I give your voice here? I need something like French. Nah, not quite. I want to find something that fits. I pitched? Oh my God. Please. I'm gonna ruin my voice enough, BB. Jeez. Oh God, let's see here. How about this? Wherever the mundane gives way to miracles, a word is whispered. Grammary.
Hey, the other day.
Who's there?
We didn't just imagine that, did we?
He was wearing a silk hat. Friend of yours?
Hardly.
We meet again! Nice to meet you. Who are you? And could you please stop smirking like that?
It's you! Uncle Valent!
Uncle Valent? He's your uncle?
No, silly. It's the great Grammary, Valent Grammary. The Grand Magician.
Yes, it is I, the great Valiant Grammary, as seen on television.
Could you please stop smirking like that?
It's been a while, Miss Trucy. 7 years to be exact. My, how you've grown.
Good to see you again, Uncle Valen. You look exactly the same.
I hate to intrude, but what is the great magician doing paying us a visit?
I believe it was you who wished to see me. So be quick with your questions. And do not quail, quake, or quiver. I am quite tame. Though my starter may sear the sight, I'm quite down to earth when need calls.
He does have a certain aura to him, it's true.
Let's ask him about the case, Apollo.
His aura sure isn't lost on our magician in the making. He's practically drooling with enthusiasm.
After all, Uncle Valent's one of Daddy's best friends. That's why I call him Uncle.
What? Daddy? You mean Mr. Wright?
No, I mean, my real daddy.
Lucy's real father?
Wait, Apollo. Don't tell me you don't know about Troop Grammary.
Troop Grammary? No. But it does sound kind of familiar.
Oh, lost life, lamentably listless lad! Do not know of the greatest troop of magicians on the planet.
Valiant Grammary. The name began to surface in my mind. It was a name I'd heard on television as a child.
You bet you've heard the name. He made a cruise ship disappear and he blew up an amusement park. Oh, and he made all this gold disappear from a safe. And then he escaped from a high-security prison.
You said he's a magician?
I open the locks to hearts chained by mediocrity. This is the true miracle of Troop Grammary.
Wait,
What, Apollo?
I do remember seeing you on television a long time ago. Weren't you with someone else, like a duo?
A duo?
Yeah, you had a partner. Something Grammary.
Yes, Zack. Zack Grammary. A masterful maker of magic, a capable crafter of shining showmanship.
Why is everyone so quiet?
Daddy.
Daddy?
Huh? Oh, no way! Once upon a time, Troop Grammary included 2 grand magicians. Myself, Valiant Grammary, and my partner, Zack Grammary.
And the Zack was...
He was my real daddy.
Lucy's father, a magician. Guess it makes sense. I had no idea.
There wasn't much point in talking about it, not now that he's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm not lonely. I've got my daddy after all. And you make me laugh, Apollo.
Glad that I'm good for comic relief, at least.
Not that I see Daddy around much these days.
I've been remiss in remembering my reasons for my visit.
Reasons?
2, in fact. The first being, of course, to see you, Miss Trucy.
You don't know how happy I am to see you again, Uncle Valent.
I'm sure you are.
Not one for modesty, are you?
When I encountered you at the Colosseum the first time in 7 years, I could fain not contain my emotions. I wept oceans. And to learn you now defend that poor pianist, that blinded boy. 'Twas a hot topic of talk amongst the staff, you know. And defend him you did.
Well, it wasn't all my doing.
I'm his defense attorney, actually.
My other reason for coming here today was this.
That's a videotape?
Quite so. A recording of the concert, no less.
They used VHS in 2007?
I brought it for you, Trucy, on behalf of Troop Grammary. Will you watch it?
Oh, actually, of the concert itself. Okay. Do we see Darian in this? Unless he's in the shadows. I don't see him. So technically, could have done it during this. Could have done it during the second song. Right? Wasn't there possibly time between when he was shot and when he died? Also, I actually saw the fire starting in the guitar. Now that I'm actually looking for it. Although weird how he never noticed. And of course they didn't dub it. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know if they actually sung this in the Japanese version. Could have. They could have.
Wow, it's almost as good as it was live. So what's the word? Mysterious?
There are more mysterious things in her song going on. Way more mysterious. Ha 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 ha! This Valiant Grammary has good reasons to be here today. I wonder what his reasons were to be at that concert. Is it really... I doubt I would get anything for presenting stuff to him, so I am moving on. Can I talk with Machi yet? Machi may not be guilty, but he's still a suspect.
But they don't have any decisive evidence.
Yeah, but only someone as small as him could have gotten out of that room.
Right, the air vent.
And he lied.
Lied?
Machi Tobaya can see.
Ah, Machi!
Speak of the devil.
He looks like he's doing okay.
I forget. Why did we come here? It's not like we can talk to him or anything.
Words are overrated.
Feelings are what matter, Apollo. It's kind of hard to build a court case on feelings. But since we're here anyway, might as well get what I want to say off my chest.
If you need someone to complain to, I'll listen.
I think she's actually worried for me.
So, what did you think of the trial today? Phew, I'm glad he doesn't understand English after all. If he did, he would have been scared out of his mind by that trial.
Hey, all's well that ends well. You have to be more goal-oriented. If he's innocent, we win.
No, if he's found not guilty, we win. Machi might not understand English, but I bet he gets that better than you do.
Huh?
I'm glad Lamirar testified. What a great person. She even got Machi off the hook by naming another suspect.
Darien of the Governors, the detective. I wonder if Machi knows what happened. I mean, if he could follow how the trial went at all. No one told him there's a new suspect. How would he know? Hey.
What is it, Apollo?
No, it's nothing. I must be imagining it.
Imagining what, Apollo?
It's just, I couldn't help but feel that... I don't know. Machi, he doesn't understand what we're saying, right?
How could he? He's a young Borginian. He doesn't speak English.
Yeah, but my bracelet is reacting to him.
Huh? Maybe it's malfunctioning. Or it's scared because you keep making those I'm so mad faces.
Was I that bad? Machi lied about not being able to see. What if that's not all he lied about?
If you're curious about it, there's only one thing to do. You should ask him.
I think it'll take something big to get to him. Some kind of undeniable evidence. We'll be back, Machi.
So, Machi, you can see, right? Machi can see and Lamirar can't. The whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Sorry, Apollo, I don't think we're going to get any information out of Machi. Which makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it does. Do I have anything? I don't know. I'm not sure we have anything to present just yet, so I'm gonna move on. We're gonna go to the Coliseum.
Woo, what a great day. It's perfect weather for sleuthing.
Weather matters for an investigation.
Well, some days just feel like magic days or defense days.
Sure. Let's get started, shall we?
Right on, show us your stuff, Apollo.
What stuff?
Your voice training. This is the perfect place for it.
I did enough at home, thanks.
There's no need to be shy. Keep that up and you'll never make it on the big stage.
I'm happy in the courtroom, thank you. I am a lawyer.
And you're in luck because it's Lawyer Weather Day. Don't you just want to face the blue sky and shout objection?
Look, the weather has nothing to do with lawyers. Let's get going already. Stick in the mud. Examine things. Sunshine Coliseum sure is living up to its name today. It's a weird freaking building structure. It looks like the giant slab of ribs at the end of the Flintstones.
It's huge! And Mr. Gavin got to play on that enormous stage. I'm so jealous. Someday I'll fight my first battle on this stage.
Battle?
Oh yeah, it's a Coliseum, isn't it?
They don't do gladiatorial contests at these places anymore, Trucy.
Really? I had no idea. I wonder why they stopped.
Sometimes I worry about her.
Look, a blimp!
Those balloons next to it have sponsor ads on them.
Let's see. Big sale, all shirts 50% off.
Oh, it's an ad for the department store next door. What else do we say? Guilty as charged. That's the name of the tour. I cannot read the one... Oh, the one yellow is just Gaviner's. I don't know. Something about the yellow on white was kind of hard to read at first. I think that's more telling about my eyesight. Then again, it's also sideways. What are the United Nations here, too? Another, blue badger? What's that creature there?
Oh, that's a police mascot, the Blue Badger.
Huh? It's life-size.
Haven't you seen them around town, patrolling the streets? Yes, now even Law and Order has a mascot.
Boom, boom. I'd run from that thing even if I wasn't a criminal. Why does its head wobble like that when it walks? It's freaky.
I don't think you're showing true Blue Badger spirit, Apollo.
No one else down here, right? Now we can just look at the poster. Look, a massive sign for the Guilty as Charged tour. A giant prosecutor Gavin stares out over the arena.
Ooh, maybe I could take it to the office when they're done with it.
Ooh. Hello, Rain. Sup, Raiders. Thank you very much for the raid tonight. Sup, nerds. I'm Satoru. I'm proud to be a nerd, and you should be too. I'm currently in the middle of playing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Hello, how goes the Ace Attorney? It is going just fine right now. Let me get you these shout-outs here, Rain. Ooh, playing Monster Hunter, I see. How's that going for you? Oops. I misspelled that. Not having a good typing day. It's good, good. That's good to hear. If you need any of that post-stream care, feel free to take care of that. Anyway, otherwise, anyone else sticking around, I hope you have some fun. I'm doing silly voices for some of these characters, so. Which reminds me, I should be taking better care of my voice. Stay hydrated. Where would you put it? You couldn't even get that thing through the front door.
Then I'll put it outside. I bet it'd be good for business.
Just as long as no one comes expecting us to prosecute.
Well, if anyone comes looking for a concert, leave it to me.
Is this part of some twisted plan of hers to make her singing debut, I wonder? Okay, that's all examining this place does.
Ah, Mr. Attorney.
Let me roar. I'm sorry about today.
There is nothing you need to apologize for. You were merely defending Machi. Are you okay? Alone, I mean? Humans are blessed with 5 senses. Even robbed of one, we get by. Though it does make being a witness rather difficult.
Speaking of seeing, you knew who we were before we spotted you just now. And we weren't even talking.
I heard your footsteps several times the day before.
Oh, you must have great ears. Ears that heard the crime taking place. Or so she claimed yesterday, but how? That was quite a statement you made today in court, about hearing Darian Krishen's voice at the scene of the crime.
I did not know his name, but I never forget a voice.
I'm not gonna voice this flashback. It feels like we do these all the damn time. Yes, Shark Boy did it.
As I said in court, I was on my way backstage from the stage. That is when I heard his voice.
I'm guessing Darian and Mr. Latouche were talking about something?
The next moment, I heard those gunshots.
Why didn't you call security?
To be honest, though the noise was quite frightening, I never imagined the gunshots might be real. And I was in quite a hurry myself. I left the scene at once. So it really was Darian's voice that she heard.
Yeah. At least she certainly thinks it was.
I met Machi before my debut as Lamirar. I was singing in a restaurant in Borginia.
And he was playing the piano?
Yes. He was very kind to me when he learned I could not see.
Is that when you started playing opposites? With Machi pretending he couldn't see?
Ah, no, it wasn't then. That began after our major debut. After I became known as the landscape painter in sound. It must have been tough for Machi, pretending he couldn't see and all the while acting as your eyes. We held hands always. He would write with his finger on my palm to signal to me things I should know. He is a smart, gentle boy.
I think I see what she's getting at. Machi would never harm a soul. Now, Mr. Latouche.
Ah, yes, he was an Interpol agent, I hear.
So you had no idea?
Of course not. No one did.
I guess that's what it means to be undercover. But someone was after him. They had to know who he really was.
Why did he pose as my manager? I do not understand.
You have no idea?
I can only assume that he was investigating me. But why?
What makes you think that?
Perhaps it is not so, but I cannot deny the possibility. Because of my condition. As my present is veiled in darkness, so too is my past clouded from memory.
Clouded, right.
The darkness that I fear is not the darkness that I see whenever I open my eyes. The real darkness lies in my heart.
In your heart?
I have no memory of the time before I became Lamirar. I woke from darkness into darkness, you might say. I was singing in a restaurant those days.
What was it that she said about not being able to remember the light?
I do not know my past. Perhaps I committed some terrible crime in my past. Everything before becoming Lamirar is lost to me. But I don't think you... I can think of no other explanation. Why else would an agent of Interpol approach me?
Do you think your past might be related to this case?
No way, that seems really unlikely to me. I mean, you're such a sweet person, Lamirar. I thank you. Machi, too, tells me this often when I fear who I might have been.
Is there anything worth presenting to her? Or, I don't know. I don't know. We'll wait until that comes up. Okay. The one thing I was looking for with the trophy involved this thing. A speaker for monitoring the stage. It was blaring at the time of the shooting. It's a pretty old model for such a nice place. I guess they don't care about sound quality back here, as long as you can hear it. Not the loss of fidelity could possibly make that music worse. Good speakers must cost a lot. You have any idea how much a nice one that size would cost, Apollo? Probably a good 10 years of your allowance, give or take. What? That's almost $600! $5 a month? Poor Trucy. Wait till she finds out you need to buy 2 speakers for a stereo. That was the trophy. Okay. See, the guide I saw said you needed to do it in episode 1, but I guess it has the same dialogue on both days. The shooter must have used that to climb up to the vent. All this tragedy because someone left a stepladder here. I don't think Mr. Latouche was shot because of the ladder. You think it was Machi? I guess that air vent is pretty small after all. Does that prove he was at the scene? Did he escape in the time between the gunshots and us opening the door? Ah, they've already taped everything up. The murder weapon. So it belonged to Mr. Latouche. That thing makes normal revolvers look like water guns. Mr. Latouche was a big man. How about the person who shot him? Wouldn't they have to be about his size? Hey, look, a part of the carpet has been torn up here. That was the part we did the luminol testing on in court. Luminol, right. Oh, she said lunamol. You know what I couldn't stop thinking? Who's going to pay for this carpet? As long as it's not us. Maybe the shooter? I guess it's true what they say. Crime doesn't pay. I would hope that carpet replacement costs weren't the only thing holding you back. Let's go look at the window. This was the window where Lamirar saw the crime from. I wish it was that simple. Kind of hard to see a crime when you can't see. But she did hear it. Yeah, but the window was closed. Maybe she heard in some other way. You mean she heard it through the speakers? Is her hearing that good? I'm spitballing on that one. Hey, how about the Gaviner's dressing room? Nothing going on here, is there? Yeah, we can't even go to the other side. Maybe that way is just partitioned off. Machi played so beautifully. Yeah, like a real pianist. That's just silly, Apollo. How can you call someone as good as Machi a pianist? Why, that's like throwing him in the same class as Daddy. Good thing Mr. Wright didn't hear that one. Look at all the electronics. They must be sound-related. Doesn't seeing a bunch of machines like this make you want to just fiddle with them? Can I, Apollo, please? No fiddling. You'll break something. If you're going to make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs. That's what Daddy always says. These eggs look kind of expensive. I still can't believe we found Machi and Mr. Latouche up on top of that tower. Yeah, I used to not like high places. Now I hate them. It's not like it would have been nicer if we found a dead body closer to the ground. Oh, that reminds me, Daddy's bad with heights too. Huh, no kidding. He took me on a Ferris wheel ride a while ago, you know. Halfway through, his face got all green and he mumbled objection over and over. Poor guy. Now that's a big instrument case. That's a case for a contrabass, I think. You could fit 20 violins in there, I bet. It may look like a violin, but it's a completely different instrument. You could fit 5 Trucies in there, I bet. Hey, are you comparing me to an instrument? I wonder who left it sitting open like that. That's the ladder we used to climb up the stage tower. Not a moment I'm likely to forget anytime soon. Me neither. I'll never be able to climb another tower again without thinking about it, you know? I'll never be able to climb a tower again, period. Okay, all this exploration has led to nothing. What's up, Axel? We took a look at your performance again. It was even better the second time.
Thank you.
Just woke up from a nap? Oh boy. Is work putting you out?
That reminds me. It was an incredible illusion you pulled off. Illusion? When you teleported from one stage to the other, remember? Ah, yes. Apparently they hired a professional magician.
Valent Gramarye. I was wondering, do you think you could tell us how it was done?
I'm afraid I cannot. Mr. Gramarye made me swear to never tell a soul.
I was afraid of that.
Hard to be a magician if you can't keep a secret, you know? I am reminded that I wish to speak to you about something.
Yes?
When I was walking this hallway before, I stumbled upon a small device of some kind. It was lying on the floor.
Device? Maybe you mean this? Just woke up early this morning and couldn't get back to sleep, so I've just been tired all day. Oof.
That's been lying there since the day before yesterday. Might I touch it? I thought as much.
What? What did you think?
This is one of our headsets. Everyone on staff wears one during a concert.
I wonder whose this is.
We use it for communication. It would be quite inconvenient should it go missing.
We'll hold on to it for you then. We'll give it to Prosecutor Gavin when we see him.
Yes, that's best. Thank you. So can I put it on?
Attached? I'm not some kind of robot, Apollo. Everyone on staff was wearing one of these headsets. This might warrant some further inquiry. Ah, yes, I can peek at it.
Bad for that, little buddy. This is Josie reporting in, over.
Why the sudden silence?
No one answered.
Don't be silly.
What good is a receiver that doesn't receive? It's like Emma not performing forensic investigations.
You make her sound like she's some kind of forensic investigation machine, which is just silly. Should I have leftovers tonight or save them for lunch tomorrow and go get food? Yeah, it'd be healthy tonight. Get this, have the leftovers. Unless she's a super high-tech android that runs on snackoos. That doesn't look like anything else to examine here. Okay, now we've done that. Want to make sure nothing else pops up in these places. There might be something else to present to her, but I don't know. No, nothing in the dressing rooms. Go back outside. Maybe we have to present you something. What's this? You would ask me for a miracle, free of fee? Then I wish be granted. Thy will be done. Thy evidence evicted into the ether. No evicting, please. Are all magicians like this, I wonder? Well, same deal. Actually, maybe I should have given that to Lammy Rar. I don't know. That's stunned in the middle of the song there. I didn't see a stunt. What about Lammy Rar vanishing and reappearing? Oh, that? I guess I'm so used to seeing that happen I didn't even notice. God, Goofy movie is 30 years old. Why did I wake up? Oh, God. We're not getting any younger. It's unfortunate. So young to be so jaded. A simple sleight of hand, a petite prestidigitation. A modicum of magic from me to you. So that's why you were at the concert. Yes. I was there to watch my trick take to the air. So you're the one who knows how it was all done. Of course, I am like a deity with the stage as my domain. I suffer no mystery upon those flood-lit boards not grasped tightly twixt my fingers. It is a potent primeval power I possess. Well, do you think you could tell me how it was done? Hey now! Trucy, that's like totally against the rules, Apollo. Not during a murder investigation, it's not. Mine, non, for my illusions are mine alone, monsieur. Also what? Recall that the terrible occurrence happened later. Okay, gonna cook food, but I got my headset on if I need to rush back to be a real mod law. Okay, no problem. Well, after my illusion entranced the audience. Oh. Don't even ask, I won't answer. Too bad for you, Apollo. Whose side are you on? I, Valent Gramarye, now make my leave, Miss Trucy. There's no need to rush, Uncle Valent. You should stay a while. I'm afraid I cannot. I may not. I shall not. I have been asked to assist with an Holy shit, that's a hard one to say. I have been asked to assist with an analysis, and so I shall slink back to the scene. So you'll be at the concert venue today? Correct. If you would call on me, come to the Coliseum. See you later, crocodile. Oh my god. With a whirl of his cloak and a wink of his eye, he turned and walked out through the door, normally. Well, there you go, Apollo. Let's get cracking. Right. Valent Gramarye. I've got a few more things to ask him. Foremost among them, that bit of magic that made Lamirar disappear, and how he knows Trucy and her real father. Can we do anything else with, Machi right now? I think he said, I am sorry I cannot speak your language. You are very beautiful, fair maiden. This is why I never trust a translator. Oops. Same thing? Yeah, I don't think we have the right thing to show him yet. Okay, we're gonna follow Valent. He's not in the Governors. Not in Lamirar's. Perhaps he's on stage. Yes. Something's on stage. That song! Isn't that the one Lamirar was singing? Yeah, you're right. The Guitar Serenade. Well, I'd love to do a show on a stage like this. I'd come to see that. The house is full, and as one, the audience sighs with wonderment. There I am, singing my ballad, rose petals swirling through the air. Not bad. Wait, are you a magician? Oh. That's right, I was a magician, wasn't I? Some dedication. Aha! If it isn't Miss Trucy, and indeed it is! Uncle Valent! What exactly are you doing here? I take responsibility in tasks undertaken. I am inspecting my equipment of illusion to make sure naught is amiss. The Lamirar teleportation illusion, woo! Should anything go wrong, it would reflect poorly upon me and my troop. As I went about my exacting examination, I happened to notice that piano. And I remembered that fair lady's melancholy melody. Hey, Apollo, maybe Uncle Valent can shed some light on this whole thing for us. I was wondering about the show the night of the murder. Lamirar's vanishing act was your illusion, right? Indeed, the Purple Prosecutor petitioned my performance. At the climax of the song, he said, "Make her disappear, like a dream." Like a dream. Yet what can I work with on a stage meant for musical endeavors? There are none of the conveniences of a stage built for sorcerous acts. It was a challenging task, and so I accepted. She disappeared from the top of the tower. But in order to move, you would have had to use some sort of secret tunnel through the mountain. People come to me because I am a professional among professionals. My illusions are custom-made for a time and a place. Now, because of the murder, all the eyes of the nation are on this concert. Not a bad thing as far as the fortunes of Troop Gramarye are concerned.
So you were here checking up on your trick to make sure it went well.
And went well it did. Now, speaking of pianos, that piano over there troubles me.
It troubles you? Why?
Why? Why do you ask why?
I think it's probably quicker if I just go check it out myself, thanks. Well, if you say so, Apollo.
That's one big piano. I've never actually played one.
You should get Mr. Wright to teach you sometime.
No good, he can't play either.
She just says it outright. I kind of feel bad for the guy now.
Maybe now's my big chance. Stand back, this could be the debut of a prodigy. Ew.
Did you make that noise just now?
Let me try it again. You know, I think something's stuck in the piano. Time to take a look under the hood. Huh. Look! This was stuck between the strings. It looks like some kind of switch.
Someone must have thrown this into the piano. Let's take a closer look.
This switch sitting here, tempting me to push it.
Don't. You might blow up the whole Coliseum.
Apollo, please. To think that every strange switch triggers a bomb. That kind of old-fashioned crime drama thinking doesn't cut it in our busy times.
All right, True CPI, please enlighten me. What do you think this switch does?
Maybe it turns on the electric razor in Prosecutor Gavin's dressing room.
A switch as big as a razor to turn on a razor? Okay. Let's show it to him.
Words cannot
Ow. What was that?
Words cannot express my shock and chagrin. All I can see before me is this stage, and me upon it. Nothing smaller, nothing less radiant catches my eye.
True, you're getting on in years. Not much time left to make your mark, huh?
This is not how I was seeing it.
So he doesn't care about what I have to show him. I get the point.
I know what you are thinking in that head of yours. Gramarye, yes, you say. I recall seeing them on television. Something of that sort.
Actually, yes, you're right.
He just read your mind, Apollo.
Or everyone tells him that, and he made a good guess.
It was 20 years ago. A young magician, a genius of his time, came down among us. His name was Magnifi Gramarye. It was he who began the great Troop Gramarye. At his prime, not a day passed that he did not play upon the screens of every TV there was.
I do have a vague memory of someone like that on TV.
Yet several years ago, that time came to an end. My troupe pulled a vanishing act, yes. Cries for magic no longer heard, the TV screen a barren waste stripped of illusion.
That's not true. I still went to all your shows. Like that one in the parking lot down at the supermarket.
When you start playing in supermarket parking lots, you know you're in trouble.
We hone our skill at these small venues, always awaiting our time. Yes, one day we will rise up from obscurity onto fame's shining stage once more. I do this not only for the magic of that is Gramarye, but for my partner.
Your partner? You mean...
Yes, Zach Gramarye,
Trucy's father.
Before he disappeared 7 years ago, there was no name higher than Gramarye in show business circles. None.
will see us return to glory. I, Valiant Gramarye. Our founder Magnifi Gramarye, was truly a genius, a worker of miracles. I'll never forget the one I saw when I was little. How he made that whole jumbo jet go... what happened to the jet again? Apparently someone doesn't remember it as well as they thought. Of all the would-be magicians who came to his door, only Zack and I had the talent. In no time at all, Valiant and Zack were the shining stars in the Gramarye crown. Whoa, huh? And Zack Gramarye was my daddy. Now that Magnifi and Zack are gone, I have but one wish. Let it be I, Valiant Gramarye, who brings the Gramarye miracle back to the big stage. I'm rooting for you. Miss Trucy, you cannot grow up quick enough. I need your skill by my side. One skill coming up. We managed to get off the topic of the case so quickly all the time. Is there really anything else to present to him? I don't think we have anything else to show him, to be honest. Do you think you could tell me about this? I'm sorry, but my information about the outside world is somewhat limited. I only know what I have heard or felt. Maybe that explains why she didn't react when I showed her stuff the other day. She was still pretending she could see them. Can I ask you about this headset, Lamirar? You said that all concert staff were wearing one? That's correct. You need them to communicate across such a large stage. Everyone on the staff had one, of course. And all of the band members, too, I should think. The prosecutor Gavin and his lackeys had them on, too, then. They're quite helpful, though limited. They only work within 30 feet or so. After all, they're only for use on stage. And a stronger signal wouldn't interfere with the sound system. That makes sense. You'd think someone would notice if they dropped their only communications lifeline. So why was this one lying here? Nope, not even her brooch is for anything. I don't know if we have anything else to show to do with Lamirar. And I doubt the dressing rooms are going to change any unless Emma shows up here or something. Perhaps. Ah, called it. Uh-oh. There's only one person I know who can munch with such venom.
What are you doing here?
Hello, Emma. You're looking as grumpy as ever.
Oh, am I supposed to be happy?
Give me the second degree in court, and Prosecutor Gavin makes me look like a fool. You're talking about the blood stain Mr. Latouche left? My department chief had a field day with that one. Even a blind person could see the shooter wasn't blind. Funny guy, huh? That blood stain helped uncover the biggest mystery of all. Now we know that Mr. Latouche was really with Interpol. We wouldn't have found that without you. I suppose. Maybe that's why...
Maybe that's why the chief gave me these after he was finished chewing me out. That was my reward.
Are chocolate snackoos popular down at the precinct or something? I was hoping we could check out the crime scene again.
Be my guest. You're not going to find any clues in here.
Well, I did find something strange. Something strange? I'm going right to something strange. You kidding me? So what did you find? So little I must have passed over it yesterday. I found it under the sofa. What is it? Part of some device, I think. I haven't a clue what. The bits sticking out from the end look familiar, so I had it examined. Turns out it's an antenna. Ooh, like on a beetle? Like on a cell phone. This device must use an electronic signal of some sort. Electronic signal, you say? Was that true what you said in court today? You know, about the case? About how everything was happening according to those song lyrics?
The Guitar Serenade, you mean?
I found the link, you know. First, Prosecutor Gavin's heart-shaped keyring was stolen. Then Lamiroir flew through the air. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar caught on fire. And in the end, a bullet took Mr. Luchus's life. And he went up into the sky with a guitar. Well, 15 feet up at least. It is kind of hard to chalk it up to coincidence. I know, and I found it. You think the same person did all this?
Don't ask me, I didn't do it.
Neither did I.
I couldn't fit through that air vent anyway.
What? You all think I did it? Sometimes I worry about that girl. I met my embarrassment quota for the year, that's for sure. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
How?
I mean, think about it. Now you don't have to be embarrassed about anything else all year.
If only it worked that way.
It just bugs me to think that little kid outsmarted me. It makes him even more suspicious now that we know he can see. He could have seen the air duct, and he could have shot that revolver. But that's not how it sounded in Lamiroir's testimony. You mean her saying she heard Detective Darian's voice at the scene? That's right.
Why can't we have a normal, straightforward killing once in a while in this country? Oh my god, that is the perfect line for this series. Oh my god, that fits so well. She just dropped every lampshade at once. I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Do you think you could take a look at this? A small device. Looks like a transmitter. A transmitter? You press the switch here and it sends out a signal. No idea what it's for, though. A signal? You mean an electronic signal? What is it, Apollo? Say, Emma, you know that strange object you said you found? Oh, this? Let me try pressing the switch. Ouch! It's on fire! Emma's device is on fire! What's the big idea?
Well, clearly we know how the guitar was set off.
Well, now we know what this is. Now we know what this is. An igniter.
This part here must work like a lighter. It nearly lit me up, that's for sure.
Hey, don't look at me like that. I didn't do it on purpose.
I suppose at least we're getting somewhere with this case. Hey, Apollo, let's ask Emma more about this switch, now that she has some first-hand experience.
What are you trying to do? Burn me alive? Come on, it was just a few sparks.
Says you weren't the one holding it. There's enough sparks flying around here just with you two talking.
Anyway, now we know this is a remote for an igniter.
Let me see that for a second.
Well,
this is definitely a little transmitter. The signal's weak, probably only reaches 30 feet. A transmitter, huh? Incidentally, if you look at a cross-section diagram of the stage area, let's see, 30 feet from Lamiroir's dressing room. That covers the backstage completely. It also looks like it would cover the stage. Kind of seems unlikely anyone would use this on stage. But it was in the piano. Guess I'd best be getting on with my investigation. We're off to look for more clues elsewhere, then. I feel better just knowing what this thing is now. I'll have to look into igniters a bit more later. Good luck!
I'd like to know a bit more about igniters myself.
Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look-see. All these little parts, it's pretty complex. I'm guessing this is where the fire comes out. Other than that, good thing machines run even if we don't know how they work. That's what Daddy always says.
Not really a saying you want to go around repeating, Trucy. Wait, what do we... Wait, what was that? One check mark shows up at some point. Oh, that's the fucking same thing. How the hell does it get that from the other side of this damn circuit board? Oh, no, hold on. I want to examine one last time. I doubt anything's changed here since I've been here. This was the window where Lamirar saw the crime from. I wish it was that simple. Kind of hard to see a crime when you can't see. She did hear it. Yeah, but the window was closed. Maybe she heard it some other way. Through the transmitter, you mean? Yeah, I don't know why all these pop back up. Like, I checked all this stuff before. So I think... I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get anything else here. Any of those new things going to help with Lamirar? I doubt it. I doubt it. Nothing goes on with the Gaviners. I doubt. Here, I don't know. Back outside? Back outside. What is this?
What, come to laugh at the murderer?
Darian.
That old bag opens her pie hole and wham bam my life goes down the chute. Thanks. They won't let me work while I'm a suspect.
Darian isn't in the best of moods, is he?
Not many people are these days, it seems.
It is a crime scene, not exactly the happiest place to hang out.
And Gavin had to go rub salt in the wound. My alibi's rock solid. Rock solid!
Okay, Torpedo Head. I think I saw Aaron Judge using him as a bat the other day.
So about your alibi.
You have to ask? The shooting happened right in the middle of the third set.
That's right. The music was blaring when we heard those gunshots and found Mr. Latouche dead.
I've got 10,000 witnesses who saw me too. Right there on that stage.
Your guitar playing was something else.
Thanks, little lady. See? This whole thing's a sham. I can't believe they aren't letting me work.
There's no need to yell at me. It's Lamirar's fault. She was the one who said she heard his voice at the moment of the crime.
Man, I never even talked to that old windbag. She can't be that old. How could she possibly identify me?
40, dude? Come on.
That ain't even that old.
Maybe I'm only saying that because I'm 37. No, I probably would have said that when this game came out, too. I would have said that in my 20s.
They won't let you work?
He won't let me work. Gavin says I gotta lie low till the suspicion is cleared. What suspicion? He can be such a stick in the mud.
Mr. Gavin? A stick in the mud?
He may look all flashy and showy, but he's straight as an arrow, man. Except when he's depressed. You hear him whining the other day?
Oh, you mean the thing with the mixing board?
And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? This part is off. Which is that? Second guitar. It was you, Darian. He's just a perfectionist is all. Not a bad guy, really.
Well, I think the Gaviners are the best. I have all your albums.
The band's fine, too. Gavin can write a good tune, I'll give him that.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen Prosecutor Gavin around much.
Oh, him? He's down at the prosecutor's office, most likely.
Prosecutor's office? I've never been there, have I?
The date on the victim should have come in from Interpol. Normally, I'd be down there dealing with it. Normally.
Apollo, let's go check it out. I've always wanted to see the prosecutor's office.
Maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Right on.
Say hi for me, okay? Oh, and screw you.
Oh, he's gonna stroke his hair.
And tell him I want into that crime scene.
We'll be going now.
Hey, wait.
Yes?
What do you really think happened? Really? You don't think I did it, right?
Well, I'm not Apollo, so I can say yes.
Great. Way to instill a guy with some confidence. Just remember, I was ripping it up on stage when it happened, okay? Ripping! Ripping ass! Don't get led astray by some siren song, eh? Get this one wrong and you'll be eating humble pie for a year. I'll bake it myself.
Let's not talk to him anymore, all right?
Detective Darian Crescend. He's one stone I'd leave unturned if I had a choice. Also, he's gonna kill my voice. It's always the graveliest.
So this is it. The governor's head office.
It's not the band's office, it's the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing, object, whatever?
Looks like Prosecutor Gavin is on the phone.
Oh well, I guess we'll have to come back.
Or we can hide behind that bookshelf real quiet-like. That's eavesdropping.
Why? We'd just be waiting, quietly, so he won't notice. What if we heard something scandalous about the band?
She'd make a good reporter for a gossip mag.
What? A replica? So why was he after it in the first place? Yeah, Latouche.
Latouche?
Look, don't talk to me about those Borginians, okay? Just get me that report. Chop, chop. And stop leaving mysterious objects in my office, okay? Times like this when I start to miss Darian.
Hiya! Tee-hee, just thought we'd drop in. Hope you're not mad.
How could I be? There's not enough tee-hee in the world in any case. Have a seat.
Prosecutor Gavin, the philanthropist.
Watch and learn, Apollo.
So, who have you come to see? Clavier lead vocalist for the Gaviners? Or Prosecutor Gavin, scourge of the courtroom?
What do you think he means, Apollo?
I think he's giving us a choice. We can either ask him about the concert or the case. Which way to go?
I want to ask about the song.
I really love that song. It has such a great atmosphere to it.
You co-wrote it with Lammy Rar, if I remember correctly.
That's right. It was last year. I'd gone to tour Borginia's legal system, as a matter of fact.
And that's when you heard Lammy Rar's voice.
It was at a small jazz club. I wept that night. I knew I had to meet her, to talk with her. So I used my influence, which is not inconsiderable, to arrange a meeting.
Well, prosecutors really have a lot of clout.
I think he's sort of a special case, Trucy.
Thankfully, she liked the work I did, and we wrote a song right there, backstage. Machi on piano, that dulcet voice, and myself on a guitar that I borrowed from Lammy Rar.
Music history was made. Probably not an experience your average lawyer would ever have. Like Apollo, say.
It is a memory I hold dear, and the song we wrote that night was this. That very guitar is right over there.
You mean this charred lump?
Don't call it a lump. That's a piece of history. And it's only browned, not really charred.
No matter, I shall never sing that song again. I wouldn't have used that guitar again either, even if I could have.
What happened during that song anyway? Why did his guitar suddenly catch on fire?
Do you think you could show it to us? Your charred, slightly burnt guitar?
I'm sure he doesn't mind. What more could happen to it? Sup, Saya? Where's my husband, Hobo, right? I don't know. He hasn't showed up at all in this case. He's not showed up at all today. That was an impressive bit of pyrotechnics that did this.
That's the guitar from the concert, isn't it?
I thought it was one of the staff playing a gag on me.
Is he alright? I'm sure he's fine. Phoenix can handle himself.
I never guessed that wasn't the end of it. I had a specialist analyze the guitar, incidentally.
Oh, did you find anything out?
He didn't have a lot of time, so it's still unclear. The results he came up with were intriguing.
Intriguing? How does that guitar tie into everything that went on? This guitar was on fire. Sounds like something we should ask about. What the fuck is this thing? What's that on the plate there? Is that gum? Gum? Maybe he was chewing it when the phone rang, so he put it on the plate for later consumption. You think a rock star could afford a fresh stick?
Don't jump to any conclusions now. It's no chewing gum. Take a closer look. Although I really shouldn't be offering, should I?
What is that? Looks like a lump of plastic. Wait, that phone call.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing, object, whatever?
It's like Prosecutor Gavin is on the phone.
What? A replica? So why was he after it in the first place? Yeah, Latouche.
Prosecutor Gavin, does this have something to do with Mr. Latouche?
Wait a second. You were listening to my phone call, weren't you?
Us? I tried to stop him, really, but he forced me to. Hey, you were the one digging for a scandal, Mr. Reporter.
To tell the truth, I'm not even sure what it is. Apparently, it's a model of something undercover agent Mr. Latouche was after.
This lump? Would you mind telling us what you do know about it? Let's ask about the lump.
This was found in Mr. Latouche's bag. Apparently a replica of something.
A replica? A small lump about 1.5 inches long.
We analyzed it, but there's not much to say other than it's a lump of plastic. Perhaps it was to be used in the identification of whatever it is a replica of.
You mean whatever Mr. Latouche was after?
That seems to be the most logical explanation.
Well, what is it?
Don't ask me, Fräulein.
Oh, if you don't want to tell us, you could just say so.
I put in a request to Interpol via my contacts in Virginia, but apparently there's a block on information somewhere along the chain. There's something either Interpol or Virginia doesn't want to share. Something about this little piece of plastic. Mr. Latouche went through all that trouble to become Lamirar's manager, just to come to this country to find out more about this lump? And he died for it. I've sent someone to the Coliseum to fetch Lamirar. Perhaps she knows something about it, being a Borginian.
Let me take a look at it. I mean, to me, it just looks like an Easter egg. It says sample on it. Sample, huh? Think they put a big enough label on it? Maybe it's to keep people from eating it by mistake. Yes, they might think it was an otherwise tasty, multicolored lump of plastic. Maybe it's the manufacturer. Sample toys when you can't afford the real thing. Lettuce. Bad name puns make a return. I did not pick up on that pun. Wow. I was I just constantly in my head had Toulouse-Lautrec in my head, but now his first name was Romaine, so yeah, now it makes sense. I get it now. Sounds like a company Mr. Wright would like. Yeah, otherwise this is just an Easter egg. The big white splotch on the end.
It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Lamirar.
How did it end up here?
She gave it to me. I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it.
So this guitar's from Virginia.
That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity ruined the wood. So we vacuum packed it in Lamirar's studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched.
See, prosecutors do have a lot of clout. I still think he's a special case. Such a valuable guitar. It's too bad it got burned. What was it that you were saying earlier? Something about intriguing results from an examination of the guitar?
That's right. What was that all about?
Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front? It's called the sound hole.
Is it really? Really? Anyone want to fact check that? That sounds like way too vague of a term for it. It must have a more technical term. It actually is? Really? Really? They couldn't think of anything better? Ah, so that's what it's called.
Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. Broken device of some sort.
Broken device?
Yes, this in fact. The examiner is busy with evidence for the case now, however. So he'll be checking this out once he's finished with everything else.
It's a general term for instruments, not just guitars? Huh. Sato, can I say a name pun later in the game if you'd rather me not? I understand, but I want to tell you it. I played the game already, so I might, oh, from Spirit of Justice? Yeah, shoot. I think, there were some, I'm trying to remember, like, a lot of them were kind of funky in that game. Yes, Peace, Love, and Understanding. Yes, I do know that one. That one I know. That's a fun one. He's first case in that game, right? So that's not that bad. That device looks strangely familiar. String instruments all sort of work the same way for acoustics, so the sound hole gets a generic name. Don't remember which case? I'm pretty sure it was the first case in Spirit of Justice. Yeah, that's a really good pun. That's a really good name.
That reminds me, did you see the paper today?
Yes. I wanted to read the TV section.
Good girl. How about you, Air Forehead?
Imagine just how much, like, Trucy would just, like, completely, like, squirm and squee being called good girl. There's a few exceptions, but they're all roughly a case with strings near a sound hole. Go figure. I read the funnies.
Then you will not have seen this.
Concert of Tragedy, the prosecutor's deadly song. Ooh, is that a new show? I haven't heard about that one.
Not a show, it's an article. News, you know?
Oh, does this have anything to do with the case?
Since getting back from the trial, my phone has been ringing off the hook. How does it feel to take a man's life with a song? Have you ever hummed a man all the way to death row? Do you think you can sing for me over the phone? It is endless, endless! Thanks to the case you made today, of course.
Oh, that was all Apollo's idea. Hey. Is that a newspaper over there, too?
Ah, yes, the Borginian Daily Bugle.
They actually called it the Daily Bugle? Yeah, wait, that last one, I know. He's probably gotten those for years.
The Virginian Daily Bugle. Go ahead, take a look.
Thanks, but I can't read Borginian.
Oh, that's right. Suffice it to say, this is big news over there as well. Though they didn't go so far as to mention the lyrics to my song.
They slipped that dark bit right in there like it was a joke. Probably no one in Borginia could believe it.
It's probably seen as just a theory at this point. A game theory, thanks for watching. Their journalists didn't see the need to mention it.
That makes sense. I hardly know what to think of it myself. Actually, did they still say that on Game Theory? I haven't watched Game Theory in ages. And I know that MatPat isn't there anymore, so I don't know who the hell actually does Game Theory. I don't know. I don't know who voices it anymore, so I don't know if they ever actually say it, if they say the same thing. He never covered Game Theory. Oh, the actual concept of Game Theory. He never did he? Yeah. He never actually did. And he's not on screen, but he still runs the operation. I'm sure. It's like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. MatPat called Phoenix a criminal. I mean, that's why he's not a prosecutor. That's why he's not a thingy in this game.
Lemirar's testimony will probably be in the evening edition, I'd imagine. Which is why I've had Darian step down from the investigation for now. Fuck the law, I do what I want. Screw the rules, I have money.
That's what made you stop listening to him.
Yeah, we ran into him moping in front of the Coliseum.
Not the 3 years of covering one game 500 times.
It's true. Lamirar was my invited guest, so it is a rather delicate situation. You understand how much I want to solve this case, quickly if possible.
I don't know if I should I withhold this stuff? Actually, I haven't looked at this at all. What's the zoom button? Oh. Let's look at the neck. Game Theory was kind of one of those I have to want to watch that specifically to watch it. I kind of felt the same way. Like, it needed a good topic to actually watch. It's like there's only so much FNAF you can stomach. There's Lightly Scorched, and then there's this. It's burned clean through! Yep, it's pretty much a useless piece of junk. It's kind of like you after a trial, Apollo. Damn, girl! Which part, the burned clean through or the useless piece of junk? Seriously, play the Friday clip. Damn! Now having like 85% of your content being FNAF kind of got old. Indeed. Okay, that's all there is to look at, right? I haven't looked at this yet, but it's obviously... Actually, wait, I got in here to, like, I don't know if I should present this or not. It has to be one of these. What is it, Apollo? That device that was found in your guitar. Take a look at this.
Why, that looks like the same thing. What is it?
It's an igniter. What also bugged me is that he never contributed to the theories, he just shared them all. Yeah. Retelling stories kind of just makes him a glorified narrator. And he did the kind of shitty links buried deep in the description is enough to say I'm not stealing it. Mm-hmm. Another one? It was at the crime scene in Lamirar's dressing room. Detective Sky found it, actually.
At the scene of the crime? What could that mean, I wonder? I believe that covers everything I'm at liberty to talk to you about. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Air Forehead.
Thanks?
Why, you gave me so much information. That igniter, for instance.
Oh, that.
I've never met an attorney so forthcoming with the prosecution. It's a big help.
Not that I had anything too much against him. I liked his cameo, but just was never my thing.
Perhaps you're just a tad naive,
If I wanted FNAF, I just wanted to watch games. Yeah, I can't. Like, I don't even want to actually play FNAF. I honestly couldn't care. I guess I could have hit it, but somehow showing it felt like the right thing. It's just Markiplier for me. I could say the same to you, Prosecutor Gavin. Thanks for the information about the strange lump of plastic. The one that Mr. Latouche was investigating. He is to FNAF what Hitler is to the History Channel? Wow. Damn. Hey, that's right.
I've been thinking, Air Forehead. We encounter many incidents in our lives, all of us. Not all of them simple.
Especially not the ones where people are killing to song lyrics.
That is why I try to at least remain simple inside. And I keep a simple goal, to discover the truth. That's why I like to keep relations civil, yeah? That is all.
I can live with that. If someone at his level didn't cover it constantly, I don't think it would have remained relevant long enough to have a good movie release. True. Mr. Prosecutor.
Line?
Can I ask you why you sing in a band?
Because I want women to turn and look when I walk down the street.
Wow. Just came right up and said it. It takes a lot of character to just admit, I'm doing it for the bitches. That's pretty simple, too.
Now, if you excuse me, I've got work to do. Another time, perhaps.
Looks like Machi is in questioning.
Huh. Police must have a Borginian interpreter. That's no fair. I wish we could talk to him.
I guess we'll just have to come back later if we want to see him.
I guess so. I think it'd be much of a later. I think we've been doing this all day.
Oh, it's you.
You came at a good time.
You're 3D, that's not his kind of woman. I mean, Saya is 2D also, right.
Hello there, Emma. What's up?
Either of you know where Lamirar is?
Well, I saw her in the backstage hallway a while ago.
Yeah? That's strange.
What's strange? She's definitely more of a Lesline lol.
I can't find her anywhere. I was supposed to bring her to the prosecutor's office.
Lamirar's missing?
It's hard to imagine her wandering off somewhere on her own.
Being that she's blind and all. Yeah, we'll help you look for her.
Great, thanks.
Is she among the crowd? Is she incognitus? Nah, she's got to be somewhere in the Coliseum. This place is deserted.
I wonder where Lamirar went off to.
I'm sure she's okay on her own. She seems resourceful.
I guess, but I can't help worry about her a little.
Is she in one of the dressing rooms? Not the Gaviners, I wouldn't think so. Not her own dressing room? No. On stage. Why is it black? Why is the screen black? That's scary.
Huh? The stage is pitch dark.
Power breaker must be off for this section. Great.
I'll go get someone.
Oh.
It was really dark out there.
Dark? That's all Lamirar has when you think about it. What would it be like to live in a world of darkness?
Hey, Apollo.
What?
Doesn't something about the stage seem different to you?
Like something's changed? Changed?
I can't put my finger on it, but it's bugging me.
Now it's bugging me too. What's she talking about? What did change? What do you think that thing was doing in there?
Throwing things inside pianos can't be good for them.
Not to mention you wouldn't be able to play whatever notes go with the strings it was on. The piano was fine during the concert. That must mean it was thrown in here after Machi played.
So maybe someone threw it in here after the second set.
The guitar case?
Hey, that case! Wasn't that open before?
Huh, I guess someone closed it.
Wait, look! Where the case closes.
Something's sticking out. That doesn't look like an instrument. You don't think it's...
Let's open it, Apollo.
Damn, you could fit a whole Lamirar in there.
Lamirar! Lamirar!
We have to get Emma! Lamirar was taken directly to the hospital. Emma ran around barking orders, making phone calls. Lucy just clung to my arm and cried. And me, I was still in shock. 2 bodies in 2 days is too many.
Really? We went back to Hickfield? Emma, how's Lamirar? Is she okay?
Ah, you. We all owe you a big thanks, that's for sure.
So she's okay?
Yes, she came to a short while ago. You found her before it was too late.
That's good to hear.
So what happened? Someone attacked her. He was struck on the forehead. By who? We don't know.
But they hit her on the forehead, right? That's right in front of her. How could she not see?
Oh. Right. Would you like to see her now? Is that alright? She wants to thank you for saving her life.
Lammy Roar! Ah, Mr. Attorney. You were the one who found me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm just glad you're okay. Tell me, what happened?
It was after I spoke with you in the front of the dressing room. I sensed someone approaching. I thought it might be someone coming to see me, but they said nothing. When I went to return to my dressing room,
You were hit.
I knew, that very moment I knew. The assailant was trying to kill me. No. It was lucky for me the first blow did not knock me out. I turned and ran for the stage. Someone was chasing me. I could hear footsteps, yet I reached the stage first.
Why the stage?
I had overheard maintenance people talking. The power to the stage area was off, they said, for electrical work. Ah, darkness is my ally.
Are we sure that someone who got struck on the head should be walking around all willy-nilly? Apparently it wasn't hard enough of a hit. Oops, I missed that line.
There was a contrabass case near the stage. That is where I hit.
So the assailant couldn't see you.
Once in the case, I'm afraid I passed out.
Wow, that sounds like a really close call. Do you have any idea who it might have been?
Unfortunately, no. Whoever it was, they said not a word.
Too bad.
Yet when I considered that I was struck high on the forehead, I must conclude that whoever hit me was taller than I am.
Good point. She's sharp. And you're much taller than I am. You're about as tall as Apollo. So that means it was likely an adult and probably a man. Could it be him?
But why would anyone attack you, Lammy Roar? The detective asked me this too. And to her, I gave the same answer I gave you. I do not know. I'm sorry, I'm not quite recovered from the attack.
She looks like she's had a rough day. I'll just put this piece of evidence away for later. Lemmy Roar, I want to ask you about this. Do you know what this is?
This is what?
Mr. Latouche was carrying it. It's a replica of the thing he was after.
He was after? You know, in his secret identity, as an undercover agent. So that's what he was doing.
You mean you know what?
Yes, I know, of course. This must be a Borginian cocoon. Or rather, a convincing replica thereof.
Why haven't I heard of a Borginian cocoon before? I don't think you heard of Borginia before this thing, Apollo.
Why would he be carrying this around? Was it some kind of souvenir? I wonder.
Can I talk about it?
Well, they call it Borginian. It must only be found in Borginia. For certain, all in Borginia know of these. It's a cocoon. So do you get silk from it? I do not know the details. I am sorry to say.
I thought she said all in Borginia knew of these.
There is one fact I do know about the cocoon, though. Something all in Borginia know.
What's that?
The cocoons. They are not to be taken out of the country. If someone does and is caught, they will be put to death.
To death? Why?
I do not know. Yet if Interpol was involved, I'm sure there is a good reason.
But this is just a piece of plastic. He was carrying a replica. We're looking for the real deal. That's my best guess.
So that's what he was up to.
Tracking down Borginian cocoon smuggling. So that's why Lettuce Boy was whacked off. Man. Want to rephrase that?
Smuggling. It seems I was marked. Marked? Life changed for me with the popularity of my songs. I began to travel around the world.
Nope, it's perfect. Okay, Saya.
So you could have brought those Borginian cocoons with you. On my trips, yes. That was probably the suspicion.
And Mr. Latouche was placed as an undercover agent to look into it.
Borginia is a small, sheltered country. Not many of our people venture into the world outside. Is that why they suspected you?
But Mr. Latouche wasn't a Borginian, was he? He was an Interpol agent, which means... What, Apollo? There must be some reason why Borginia doesn't want those cocoons getting out. Something scary enough to get Interpol involved.
Huh? Like what? How could such a tiny ball of thread cause such a commotion?
Cocoon smuggling. And Mr. Latouche had Lamirar marked. It couldn't be her.
Huh?
There's one other person I need to talk to. Thank you for talking to us, Lamirar.
It was the least I could do.
Actually, I have another request.
If it is within my power,
I need an interpreter. Someone who speaks Borginian.
Apollo?
Would you come with us if you're well enough?
I see. Yes, of course. I shall accompany you. Huh? Where are we going?
Come on, Trucy. We're about to get to the bottom of this. Back to the detention center. Machi, we came to talk to you about the case.
Machi.
Could you interpret for us, Lamirar?
Yes.
Machi, I'd like to talk to you about when we first met. When we still thought you were blind. Now we know the truth. You can see, right?
I was completely fooled myself.
Machi, isn't there another secret you're hiding from us?
Wait, Mr. Attorney. What do you mean by secret?
Symbols my favorite language? Yeah, it's wingdings. What do I mean by secret? Well, what's his secret? Is he the smuggler? If I'm not mistaken, you know something about this, don't you?
Hey, you got a reaction!
A big one!
Machi, you didn't.
Lucy and I are trained to see people's uncertainty. Not that we would have needed any training to see that one.
Mr. Attorney, please tell me what this is all about.
Lamirar, please, interpret.
Very well.
I know you know something about this by your reaction. If you won't tell me, I might have to give it to the prosecution. Have them look into it. Yeah, one symbol is just a pair of scissors.
He asks you to wait. Do not be so hasty. Machi? Do you know everything?
Yes, everything. Well, sort of.
Have him tell us about it.
That's the symbol for a certain type of bedroom activity. Although still, my favorite symbol is the Hadoken one right there.
Very well. What is this cocoon, anyway? The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure.
A cure? It must cure some disease.
It is a cure. It's a cure for.
Are you fucking serious?
Incuritis.
A cure for incuritis?
But if it's a cure, why keep it in Borginia like that? Just think of all the lives they could save by sharing the medicine.
Yeah, I think they gave up on when they got to translating that. Apollo is very much not amused. So this is where they get unobtainium from.
I do not understand the reasons myself.
Okay, well, at least we know what it is. A cure. Mr. Latouche was after cocoon smugglers. Wait, was Machi?
Machi, you weren't. He couldn't be a smuggler. He's so little.
Well, you're only 15 and you're sort of a magician, aren't you?
Well, that's true. I am sort of a magician.
He said sort of. Oh, to have a copy of that security camera tape.
Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me. First he plays blind, now he plays dumb.
They couldn't even be creative like stick it to the maniosis. I wonder, do you think he brought a cocoon here to sell it to someone? Machi really did bring one into the country. Was he planning on making a deal for its sale?
I can't go home.
Can't go home?
I can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. Penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death.
By the way, Miranda Cosgrove is also in her 30s. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
That's right. It's punishable by death. That's the case? What about the case?
He wants to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death? Oh, who is saying this meeting's over? Okay, it's either going to be Clavier or Darian. Darian. He ain't making himself, he ain't helping his case any.
Darian?
What do you mean? Visiting hours aren't over yet.
There's a call for Machi from the Borginian embassy. This meeting is over. Sorry.
Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that.
Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving.
Oh god, it is a pompadour mullet. It's a pompadour mullet. A shark pompadour mullet.
Darian, wait!
I never liked you. Either of you.
Huh?
Darn it, we were so close! He was about to tell us! Hey, Apollo.
He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say.
Apollo!
There can be only one reason why.
Why is everyone ignoring me?
Oh, sorry. This is it. I know who I'm after now.
I knew it since friggin' Lamiroir said it.
I've known it for about half an hour at least. It all happens tomorrow in court. And that tomorrow is going to happen next week here. I am not going to go the full 4 hours with this, just to save my throat. And yeah, I think we all know now. I think it's totally obvious who did it. But we're going to figure out the how and the why. And just and also count how many times we have to how many times he dances around the issue and how many times we still have to like, oh no, you can't prove this. You can't prove this. But again, that will happen next week sometime. Oh, man, but it's still super fun. I'm still like really having fun with the game. It's so fun revisiting all this. So did he use that mullet to hit Lamiroir, whatever his name is? Maybe, possibly. That's certainly possible. So no more streams for me this week. Next stream for me should be on Rando Monday. No, we're going to continue with more Metroid Fusion. That's going to be a fun one. But I also going to mention for one last time here, we are going to shout out Queenie BB real quick. She is having a fun little celebration on Saturday afternoon. That's 2 days from now, basically more like 1.5 actually. But it is to be her birthday celebration. First off, that's undeniable. And fingers crossed, her 3.0 will be ready in time. And by that I mean she will have her full body 3.0 set to go here. If not, she will still have something to show. She has a chibi version of the model, which is 100% ready. So there is at least going to be that. And otherwise, she's going to have a bunch of people playing games with her all throughout the day, myself included. So definitely tune into that, and definitely show BB some support. Definitely give her the subs and the biddies and all that stuff. She is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful bee. You should definitely give her all your support. Oh, boy. But now with that plug out of the way, let's see. Do we have a raid target tonight? I'm ending a bit earlier than normal, so let's see who we've got. Who's doing stuff right now? Let's see. What is good in the neighborhood here? I'm not. Honestly, people are not playing as many things as I would like. Oh, that could be interesting. If I don't see... I feel like I've raided Bastion a couple times already, so let's change it up a bit. Yeah, actually, that could be fun. Unless they're done. Let me check that real quick. Because possibly we can shoot over to this person. Let me just make sure they aren't stopping it. Yeah, they might be stopping. Okay, yeah, they've been going for quite a while. I think they're gonna end stream. Okay, so we will yeah, we can throw it over to Bastion instead. I think that's fine. She is still doing some Super Metroid practice. Let's hope she's doing well. Hopefully she gets that PB. And yeah, that is all set. So again, big thing here. Go watch BB on Saturday. I wanted to say Thursday again. How the hell do I keep doing that? And then come back here over on Monday night. We'll get to play some more Metroid Fusion. And I'm already saying, like, I think there's a couple of tweaks to the rule set that I'm going to try out for that time. And also, I think I'm ready to try 100% in Fusion. I think that might be worth doing. So be on the lookout for that. But until then, everyone, thank you everyone for watching. Have a good night or whatever time of day it is for you, and I'll see you nerds later.